Hey you guys, my name is Olivia. Thanks for joining me on my channel. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3. I homeschool 2 of my kiddos. I have an 11-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old daughter. You may have missed it, but I did a 5th grade roundup with my 11-year-old a couple of weeks ago on this channel, and my 7-year-old who just finished up 1st grade also wanted to share her opinions on the curriculum we used for her 1st grade year, so I thought that we could do that today. If you're new to my channel, I don't share my kiddos' names and I don't put their faces on camera, and so they're gonna have their whole lives to choose how they want to be on the internet, and so this is what we came up with to be able to make this video work this time. So yeah, I'm going to just hop right into it. For all of her literature, social studies, history, and science, we were using Memoria Press's 1st grade enrichment curriculum. I have a full flip through of this curriculum on my channel. This is not the core curriculum that they offer. This is their enrichment, and there are weekly read alouds, and then there's a corresponding history and science portion. There's also poetry and music and a couple of other things, but we don't use those components of the curriculum. Like I said, if you want more details, feel free to check that video out down below, or maybe I can link it up here. And so I asked her to pick out her 2 favorite literature pieces and her 2 favorite science or history pieces from the year, and these are the ones that she shared. Okay, do you want to share your read alouds first, your favorite ones?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead and hold it up and let us know what the title of the book is, and then a little bit what it's about, and make sure you speak kind of loud because the book's covering your mouth, okay?
This is called Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears. And it's about this,
Essentially, what is the book about?
well, the mosquito buzzes in people's ears and says, everyone's so angry at me.
So essentially it's a why story. So one of the myths from one of the African cultures about why mosquitoes buzz in your ear, and it tells this whole tale about all of these jungle animals and how it comes down to this. Another connection to this was different why things that happen and from around the world in different sorts of tales, and coming up with your own and sharing it. Like, how did people come across fire? Why are there storms, or this or that? It also touched on some of the parables in the Bible as well that Jesus tells. This one was really, really fun. It was funny, and the animals are quirky and silly, and this was an enjoyable one for me too. I also liked that one. Do you want to share your other book that you chose?
Sure. This is a thick book. This is called Pickle Chiffon Pie, and it's about this king set off a quest for these 3 princes for them to bring the biggest and the bestest and the craziest animal in all the forest for the princess as a helper, a pet, or anything. And this man brings back home this 3-nosed dog that makes pickle chiffon pie. Yeah, I think it's called
A snozzle.
a snozzle.
The illustrations in the book are super sweet. The book's actually really, really sweet. And it's about doing the right thing, right? Because he really wants to win the contest to win the princess's heart by bringing back the coolest thing. But there's something that happens when he goes and he's critter hunting, and he makes a decision not to bring something back with him because he's trying to do the right thing. This is a sweet one too. I also really loved this one. Okay, go ahead and show your 2 favorite pieces that you liked from science or history.
Okay. This is called In the Rainforest, and it's not about anything like the real books. It's just facts about the animals, and I learned this thing called an epiphyte that grows on trees.
Yep, so you learned about epiphytes. They are other plants that grow on, that grow on trees, you're right.
And
there's lots of those where we live in Washington, huh?
Yeah.
What sorts of epiphytes do we see when we walk around?
We see, what's that fungus called that deers eat? Well, it's this tree that grows on trees that deers eat, and they really like it.
Is it a type of lichen?
Oh yes, it's lichen. There's moss. We don't have tropical things like these, like the cactuses and stuff on them.
Like ferns are an epiphyte. We have ferns that grow on trees all the time.
Yeah, ferns.
Yep, this was a really, really beautiful book. This one was connected to a book that I thought for sure she was going to pick as her favorite, and it's The Owl and the Pussycat turned into a book, which was the actual poem from, what?
She picked that.
From Edward Lear. Was it Edward Lear? Something Lear.
I think I was just trying to find something, but I should maybe switch it in from Scared People here.
You don't have to switch it in. That's okay. That's also a really cute one. So it's essentially the Owl and the Pussycat poem, and they put it in a book, and the book is based in the Caribbean, and it follows the owl and the pussycat as they met each other, fell in love, sailed across some of the sea to get married underneath the moon, and it's in like a tropical, it has a tropical vibe and feel to it because it's in the Caribbean, and so they connected it with the rainforest. We learned about rainforests and meridians and all of that kind of stuff. This was a fun thing to do. You're right. Okay, what is your next choice?
How do birds find their way in migration?
Yeah, this one was fun to learn about. What did you love most about this? Or what's a fact that has stuck with you since we read through this book?
Can I please flip to the page to show you?
Sure.
That one always stuck to me.
Oh, yeah. It's this scale about how high certain birds fly compared to like geography and like weather and planes and stuff like that. So you liked seeing this scale of where the different birds are in the sky, how high they fly?
I didn't know that seabirds and shorebirds can fly more than eagles and hawks.
So something that we did with this was we looked up some different migration patterns of birds that we often see come in and out of our area here in the Puget Sound area of Western Washington. Do you remember one of the birds we chose and where it comes from?
Definitely.
Yeah?
I remember called the Western Tanager, and it looks like a tropical bird. And when I first saw it, I thought it was a parrot.
Yeah, so birds aren't super, super colorful up here. There's lots of varying colors of grays and browns and some whites and blacks. Every once in a while there will be a brighter colored bird, but there was a few years ago we were looking outside and the kids swore they saw a parrot, and I was like, oh no, maybe a parrot, someone's pet did get loose, you know? I wound up seeing it just a bit later and I looked at it and I was like, oh no, but then I thought about it, I was like, what if that's an actual bird that comes around and I had just never spotted it before? And sure enough, it's called the Western Tanager, and it migrates up here in the summertime.
It has a bright orange head, a yellow body, and it has black wings with little white, like rice grain shaped speckles on it.
Yes. So that's a really fun bird to keep our eyes out for in the summertime. All right, I love those choices. Those were really fun for me to learn too. So that's what we were kind of doing for books and literature. What I was using as her, basically, it's essentially her language arts. It's this foundations curriculum. This is from Logic of English. This is level C. We started with level A when she was like 4, not quite 5, when she was in pre-K, and this has been really awesome. I do have a video on this, but I would like to do an updated one. I did it. It was one of my first videos when I came back from being postpartum, and I remember just being really brain foggy but wanting to like talk about it. So I would like to be a little bit more clear and detailed, but I do have a video on that. This teaches phonics and there's some spelling analysis. They do also have vocabulary, some comprehension and fluency with read alouds, and a little bit with composition and grammar and handwriting, but not enough where I feel like, so my daughter's a really fluent reader and she always has been. We started with this and she really took off, and she's been able to read on her own without help sounding out most words for a very long time. And so she's kind of in this area of learning where she's not learning to read anymore, and now she's reading to learn. And while I do think that the phonograms got a little bit trickier because it was like combination vowels for the phonograms, and they say multiple sounds and stuff like that, being able to isolate just the phonogram itself and memorize what it is, sometimes it's like easy to get mixed up with it. It's easy for me to get mixed up with them too. But when she's reading out, like reading her own book, she doesn't struggle with the phonograms themselves. But this, I don't want to say was easy for her, but it was not challenging for her. I'm definitely taking a little bit different of a direction this upcoming year for her new curriculum. I'm doing something that's a little bit more challenging, that's going to, which is a good thing, because when you're challenged, you learn and you grow. Yeah, it's going to have a lot more intentional grammar and writing composition in it, which is definitely something that we are ready for and we're moving towards, because there wasn't a whole lot of that in here, and I did not have anything solo like that other than some different things I would put together for her to do as activities for the read alouds or the science pieces, because we do have a notebook that she's been keeping all year, and I did try to have some sort of either copy work or facts or what have you that she would record based off of the different literature or science or history pieces. This is great. I have nothing but wonderful things to share about Logic of English. Well, what did you think of Logic of English? You always love when we do this, right?
Yeah, but sometimes I did like it. I think my favorite part was probably spelling.
Yeah. If somebody had asked me what your favorite part of this, I would have said spelling too. We get through the spelling parts of it, and she asks me to give her more words, and I'm like, babe, I don't got any more words for you. So I know you like the spelling part. I'm pretty sure the curriculum I have picked out for you for this next year for language arts also has a spelling component to it. I can't remember, but I know you enjoy spelling. But this one is fun for you, right? Like, you don't detest when we take it out and have things to do?
Well, I only like the spelling bit.
You only like the spelling bit?
And
okay.
the reading books, the tiny reading books.
The little readers that it comes with, yeah. You don't love the games?
Oh, shoot, I love the games too.
Yeah, the games are fun.
But
we've just kind of moved on. All right, next, let's talk really quickly about your handwriting. So this is from Dash Into Learning, and this is their handwriting course. She has started the cursive part of it. Do you mind if I show a page or two? No. Of your handwriting here? Okay. We actually did start with cursive when we started Foundations A, because you can either buy the bundle in cursive or you can buy it in print. And we started it in cursive, and she actually did a lovely job. Like, everything was so beautiful. But we started getting to a point where we were doing other workbooks for other subjects, and it all came in print, and then they would ask her to answer things or write things in print, and we realized we hadn't taught her print yet. And so we halted on cursive. Even though her cursive was so pretty, we halted on cursive and we started doing some print things. We've done the Good and the Beautiful workbooks for handwriting, and she liked those. We did the entire Danielian print. There was 3 workbooks that went along with that, and she got through them, which is really nice, because it's, if you're not familiar with it, it's the handwriting where at the end it teaches you to like curve up at the end of the letters, which makes it pretty easy to connect things for cursive when you move on to cursive. So she's been doing this, and I actually bought these as a PDF on a sale, and if you're not on their newsletter for your email, Dash Into Learning, often, they're really great about putting on different sales. And so I bought the entire PDF, and I just printed it out myself. But the individual letter pages look like this. And then if you are familiar with the Good and the Beautiful handwriting workbooks and how they have little different activities and things to do in there, this one is similar. Like this is a search and find. Like here's finish the word and then match it to the picture. So they're really good about interspersing every time that there is a letter to learn. You then move on and your name's not on here somewhere, is it? No. You move on and do some sort of little activity. So we've really liked this, and I bought all 3 of them, so we will continue. This is book 1. We'll go through all 3, and then we'll see where she's at and what she wants to do with handwriting after that. Well, actually, I should ask you, what did you think about this handwriting book?
It was good. I just missed print a bit.
You missed print?
Yeah, I think these are pretty. It's just I missed print because I know why. It's just
You enjoy writing in print more?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, we can always go back to print once you learn cursive. Cursive is just a skill I would like you to know how to do.
Sure.
So once we're finished with cursive, if you would like to keep practicing handwriting in print, we'll move to print again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, lastly, math. Before I talk about it, I want to see what your opinion is of math.
It's my favorite bit. Wait, what's it called? Favorite subject.
It's your favorite subject.
Yeah.
That's right. So I've talked about the math journey thus far in different videos. I can link some of those down below if you have not watched them. She does so great with this. I have a full video review and a lesson and a follow us along a lesson video as well, how I use this and using it in real time with my daughter. It is really straightforward, and the workbook itself is not in color, which is not a big deal. It's still drawings and stuff, so what you're gonna see in the white is what her workbook looks like. They're still drawings. It's still aimed towards kids. It's just straightforward, and it's not gimmicky, and there's no like new ways of learning things. It's repetitive, but also it's mastery, and so you really hone in on a skill before you move on to a next one. And then every lesson, it'll have 1 or 2 certain skills that you have learned in the past too to practice there, but you really are still practicing those skills that you touch on, and you don't move on from them until it's something that you have down. Like you don't introduce anything more until you've had plenty of practice. And I show you all of the options that they offer so that you can really extend that practice as much as your individual kiddo needs on each one of the skills. Oh. Okay, we're gonna try and wrap this up quick because apparently when we were not done talking before, my phone ran out of storage, which is a bummer because we had just finished up then too. But we had gotten through we had already done the curriculum, so we were just talking about the different activities that we participated in this last school year. What did you do?
I did ballet, I did Awana, and I'm doing gymnastics.
Yes, so ballet went from September through April, and then she started up gymnastics, and we did Awana from September through May. That's a kids discipleship club if you're not familiar with it. Yeah, we had a lot of fun this year, huh? Do you have a favorite memory from first grade?
Oh, probably. It's probably, baby being born, or was I in kindergarten there?
You were in kindergarten when the baby was born.
Oh, okay.
But you did have a whole first grade year with a little sister.
Yes.
That was all up
Magical.
Oh, that's sweet. I was going to say all up in your grill, but it was magical. You're such a good big sister. She's such a good big sister. Even when the baby is high needs and kind of crazy.
I give her a stuffy.
Yes, you do run her stuffy. So anyway, if you guys have any questions on any of the curriculum that we chatted about, or any questions for her or what have you, feel free to leave all of that down below. I'd love to get back to you guys there. And if not, thank you guys so much for joining us, and I will see you in the next video.
Goodbye.
Bye.